In this lesson, let's prevent the user from typing more than 280 characters when they're composing their journal entries. In order to do that, first, we'll need to remove the V model on the text area and bind the value attribute to the text. Next, we'll manually handle the keyUp event with a function called handleTextInput. Let's also define that method now. Okay, the handleTextInput will accept the event as its first argument, commonly abbreviated as E. But it looks like there's an issue with that. If we hover over E, we can see that it's an unused variable. Thus, I'll console log E just to eliminate the issue. Even now though, the red squiggly line still exists. And hovering over E, we can see why. It has been implicitly typed as any. Anything implicitly typed as any is a hard error for a TypeScript project that is set to strict mode, which is the default. This could be turned off in tsconfig.json under the compiler options. And yeah, that makes the red squiggly line disappear. However, it's always recommended to use TypeScript in strict mode, as that's going to provide the most type safety. Really, in my opinion, the only use case for turning it off would be for migrating existing JavaScript projects to TypeScript. Thus, I'll just remove the strict false setting to turn strict mode back on again. Unfortunately though, this means we get our error back. So what can we do to fix it? The answer is to explicitly annotate the argument as an event. Awesome. Now the error disappears. Also notice that this is a globally available interface, so there was no need to import it. Plus, if we hover over event, we get this handy documentation telling us that it's an event which takes place in the DOM. That's pretty sweet. Now, we can access the text area element on the target property of the event. And notice that as we type, VS Code can show us the proper autocomplete options for a DOM event. I'll also throw the text area in the console log just to get rid of the yellow squiggly line. Alright, now hovering over text area tells us that it's a type of event target, or null. We can make it even more specific with type assertion, using the as keyword, like this. This casts the text area precisely as an HTML text area element. That means that when we're going to get the value of the text area, VS Code can properly autocomplete that. Cool. Now we can use the text area value to limit what the user types in. If the value is less than or equal to 280 characters, we'll set the text reactive ref to what's typed in the input. Otherwise, we'll set both the text reactive ref value and the text area value to only the first 280 characters of the text area value. And it looks like on line 11 that we've got an issue. The less than or equals operator can't be applied to the type of string. Okay, I forgot to add .length here. Thanks, TypeScript. Lastly, let me centralize my character count limit of 280 to a variable, just for organization's sake. And then we can use the variable throughout the handleTextInput function. Believe it or not, we can even use this variable in the template where we're displaying the max characters. This is actually a pretty cool trick for defining reusable data within the script section that will never change. Or, in other words, you don't necessarily need the overhead of a reactive variable just to share data with the template. Alright, that should get our text area correctly limiting the character count now. Let's give it a try. I'll start by typing in the text area, and then just copy and paste this line a few times to speed things along. You'll notice on that last line that it got cut off once we reached the 280 character count limit. Let's backspace it just a bit in order to sneak up on 280 to better simulate what actually typing does. Nice. It lets me type to 280, but anything after that is automatically removed. In conclusion, during this lesson, we learned how to annotate events with the event interface. We also learned how to cast our event targets to specific HTML elements for more precise type safety.